Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the virtual class of Gyaniketan Girls' School. This is the continuation of the chapter Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. Till now, we had seen different revolutions in Russia. After October Revolution, everyone presumed that things will change and in positive way. But it did not. There were differences, challenges, and different challenges, and civil wars also brought up in Bolshevik, uh, was also fought, and in Bolshevik strengthened its root. It got Bolshevik Party got more and more power. Now, Bolshevik Party or Russian Communist Party had accumulated the power and their agenda for standing in favor of socialism, and which made everyone think and believe that they would form a socialist society. And if so, what type of society will they form? Now, banks and industries, in process to form a socialist society, things different changes were made up in Russia. That were banks and industries were nationalized, and peasants were permitted to work on confiscated land. That is the land which were holded by the nobility, industrialists, or many others. Now, centralized planning was introduced in Russia, means everything will now work according to the central authority, that is Bolshevik, because Bolshevik was the major party at the time. So everything will work according to Bolshevik, and everything was showing the socialist nature of society. Now, whatever changes was being done in Russia, it all showed that it is the socialist nature of society. So one more thing was major thing was introduced in Russia, that was 5-year plan that were introduced. That was a set of target for economy for upcoming next 5 years. For example, if we talk in India, we have 5-year planning. That is a thing that have been given by the Russia, and this 5-year plan, as I said, had its origin in Russia, introduced by the Bolshevik Party. Now, this 5-year plan proved a huge success for Russian economy, because first 2-year plan, that was from 1927 to 32 and 1933 to 38, led to huge industrial growth and new factories began to come up. Here there is a mistake in the slide. Here it will be 1933 to 38. Now, it was seen that these 2 5-year plan led a huge industrial growth and new factories began to come up. For example, there were 100% increment in case of oil, coal, and steel production that was seen in Russia. Now, Bolshevik Party, in order to form socialist society, followed the idea of socialism and worked according to the idea of socialism, and results were also positively seen. But people were here happy, the results were good regarding socialist society, but this was not the truth, as everyone was thinking that everything is going smoothly. Each and every result, each and everything that was being changed in Russia was in positive form, but this was not the truth. There were also some negative points that were seen in it. Now, all the successes, as I said, had negative impact also. So, rapid instruction, here also there were some impact, that were rapid construction led to poor working condition. And for example, in Magneto Works, GOX, the construction of steel plant was achieved in 3 years. Okay, workers lived hard lives. The workers who increased Russian economy worked at below 40 degrees Celsius temperature. People had to climb. Another was that people had to climb down from fourth floor go to the toilet. Fourth floor to go to the toilet. There were no problems. There were very much problems seen for sanitation. No proper sanitation was available, we can say. And all these showed that living condition of workers were tough in Russia at the time when the growth was being seen in Russia. There were frequent stoppages, like 550 stoppages of work in first year alone was seen over some demand or reason. So we can see that how socialist society was formed and what were the challenges in forming this socialist society. Now, what did the government do to overcome these challenges? Since government was also there, they were seeing that there were different challenges which people were facing. So what did the government do? See, government took some steps to improve the condition. They or steps were taken by the government, like an extended schooling system for workers and peasants were opened. And from 1917, frequent revolution and wars, we saw that from 1917 frequent revolution was and wars were fought in Russia, and so there were no proper schooling done by these members, by workers, by peasants. So many workers and peasants stopped their schooling during war. So an extended schooling system was introduced, was brought up, so that they could be taught, they could learn something. Second thing was, creches were established in factories for children of women workers. Creches are a small kindergarten type for children, so that women could work without any interference. Now, next thing was that cheap public healthcare was also provided for people, so that they do not have to spend lot of money. Next thing was seen that model living quarters were set up for the workers. So how all these steps, how all these efforts were limited because the resources of the government was also limited. Although the government tried to change the tried to improve the condition, tried to take some steps for these workers and peasants, but since they had limited resources, the efforts made by the government was also limited. So this was how the things were going on, how the plans were going on. The 5-year plan which was introduced, heavy industrialization was being produced of made up, and these industrialization, these development has also negative impact on the people who were working in these industries, and the government tried to change the condition of this industrial people in order to make a proper socialist society, socialist party. Okay, so this was what we see in this topic. Now next is that how Stalinism and collectivization came in being after Lenin, that we will study in next video. So for today, thank you and have a nice day.